I think that health and safety training shouldn't be dry and boring, of course. I think that there is this kind of mismatch between when we say health and safety, what most people are thinking about is a whole bunch of rules, which does sound boring. Rules are always boring to people. But when you say health and safety, I think if I said to any man in the street or any person in any business, what are your key values in life, they would say health and they would say safety. It would be right up there amongst the top 2 or 3. And so health and safety training is critical, of course. And I believe very much that people who train health and safety have a huge role to play in the business economy. In addition to that, I think that to help them become more successful is probably giving them the confidence to believe that themselves. But also, one of the things that I do with anyone who I work with is to focus in on their strengths. Now, health and safety professional trainers, they have a very key strength, which I believe is one of the master skills of success, and that is the ability to stand up in front of a group of people. And anyone who's a health and safety trainer, we're already at the Roadshow going to be having we're preaching to the converted in many ways, because these people are able to stand up in front of an audience. So they've overcome fear in one part of their life, and we now need to look at other ways in which they can employ the same tactics themselves to overcome barriers in other areas. Blueprint for a breakthrough, and what that is really about is I've identified, having worked with very many successful people in all fields of life, a code of practice that everyone uses who becomes successful. The top 3% always do things in a certain way. And so what I've done is created a toolkit, a very practical toolkit, based around what the most successful people do in any role. And we're going to be talking about that as a blueprint for creating breakthroughs in business and in their own lives. The second section is called peak performance. And again, having worked with many people in all walks of life, I've identified a number of keys to reaching peak performance, and a lot of what we're going to be talking about comes from the world of sport, where elite athletes use certain psychological tools to enhance their performance. When I saw this going on, I thought we can adapt that for business people, and sure enough, that's what I've done. I've created a toolkit of psychological tools that people can use to enhance their performance and allow themselves permission to be brilliant. And the third section is called Getting Your Act Together, which is really all about how to get focused, how to get yourself well organised, how to upgrade yourself and your business so that you can be a more effective business person as well as an effective trainer. I think every delegate will take away something different because they are coming at it with their own views, their own agenda. For me, the main message is that everyone's life, achievements, business, career is a matter of choice, and this is your one chance to make that choice. And if that's the only message to go away with the toolkit to back that message up, then that will be great. But the main message is this is your one chance to make a success, and here's the tools to do it. Create a purpose, create goals, create objectives that you're clear about, be focused on your strengths, and take focused action. And those are the 3 keys, I think, to anyone's success. I worked with one individual who needs to make quite a transition in his career from being a very successful person who had reached a peak and a pinnacle, but needed to make a transition, or wanted to make a transition to enable him to live a broader life, and needed to leave the company he was with and move on. And he was wrought by fear. I mean, he was in a very, very, very comfortable role. He'd been very experienced in that role and was very capable of doing it, and he could have sat there forever. And so it was because he wanted to make this transition, it meant that he had to overcome some significant personal barriers psychologically to do it. And when he did, of course, he was delighted, because within 18 months he's earning 3 times what he previously was. He's got more time off, he's happier, and so it was a good decision. But it was the overcoming of that hurdle. Although he decided to make the change, it was actually making the change that was the difficult bit. I used a little story actually of frogs sitting on lily pads, and I'll be covering that at the Roadshow.